2003, my health started to break. I was always very active, full of energy, and all of a sudden my body started shutting down. I started having terrific pain in my right shoulder, my neck, my arm. I went to my doctor and they wanted to do neck surgery. And so I refused that. I wanted other opinions. I went to six other doctors and they told me I did not need surgery. So among that time, I started having tremors in my right hand. Everything started happening in the right side. Starting tremoring so bad that my husband had to cut my food up. I couldn't drive a lot. Then the fatigueness continued. Throughout that time, 2004, I was diagnosed with essential tremors. They put me on antidepressants. I was on pain medication for that, which was not helping any. Among that time, I also could not sleep at night, such severe pain that I was in bath water around 2 to 3 every morning, trying to get relief of pain. Took around a year and a half for them to diagnose me with fibromyalgia. Then I started having severe joint pain in my joints. I could not do much with my hands. Crank the car, turn the doorknobs, just lift my grandchildren. My whole life had changed, all of my lifestyle. I had to just readjust to what I could do in my home. My 80-year-old mother had to come in. She had to start doing a lot of my housework. My husband had to fill in and do a lot of it. Usually by 3:34 in the afternoons, I was down. I just couldn't stay up. I, wanted to go to bed a lot because I did not have any energy, was in pain. 2005, I went to Mayo Clinic and was diagnosed with aggressive rheumatoid arthritis. I was put on methotrexate, the highest dosage they could give me orally. For a year and a half I was on that. Still, I was not getting much better at all. Still had the pain in the joints. Was still shutting down a lot from the fibromyalgia. I had went through all of the inflammatory medications like Mobic, Dextra, Vox, just about every one they had tried me on. Nothing was working. And so I'd really gotten to the point of just wanting to give up on life. Didn't have much of a life when we went anywhere. I didn't enjoy going anywhere because I always usually ended up in the back seat lying down because I didn't feel like I couldn't a lot of times open the doors to get out of the car. My mom, when we went anywhere, my mom or husband would go and have to carry my purse a lot of times. That's how weak I was. Among that time, I really did want to give up. I didn't want to live like that. One night, my sister-in-law, this was in 2006, she called. She lives in Iowa, and she was on the mangosteen juice, and she offered it to me to try. And so I went ahead and said, yes, I'll try anything. The medication isn't working. I'm getting worse. They're getting ready to intravenously start feeding me the embryo through the veins for the rheumatoid. So I went ahead, ordered in the mangosteen, and I started out on 6 ounces a day for 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, I started seeing a change in myself. And by 4 weeks, I started getting stronger. I could actually start turning the doorknobs, cranking the car a little better. My pain started leveling off, and it was just like a miracle happening. And by 6 weeks, I went back to my physician. He could find no heat or swelling in the joints and wanted to know what I was doing. And I took my juice with me, and I showed him the bottle of mangosteen juice, and he told me he had never heard of it. And he said, that Mayo Clinic told you would be on methotrexate the rest of your life. And he said, I think you're going to make a mistake by getting off, but I'm going to taper you down on it. And by January, you'll be completely off of it. January 1st, you'll be off of it. And that was from October to January, I was on the juice. And so by January 1st, I was completely off all medication. And continued to get better. Went back in February and still no sign of any heat or swelling in the joints. The tremors, I went to visit the neurologist. He wanted to know what had happened to the tremors. I had no longer any tremors. No more shutdowns of fibromyalgia. I came back from the doctor in August, very excited because there was still no sign of any rheumatoid, fibro, or tremors. No blood work had to be done. Along that time in the summers, I was an avid water skier, and I had to give up all my water skiing. This past summer, I've been back water skiing, enjoying life again, doing the things that I had been doing before 2003. It has been very touching to my husband, Augustine, also, because he honestly thought that he was going to lose his wife. He tells everybody he can't talk about it without breaking, because he really feels like he got his wife back. And so, I'm thankful to God I had prayed for a natural, that I could find a natural, and I'm glad that I did not, get my mind set on being so skeptical that I didn't try it. And I'm thankful every step that I take, that I have found Augustine. And it's the greatest investment that I have ever made, the greatest money that I've ever spent in my life. I have now a life with my grandchildren that I didn't have. My little grandson told me a few weeks ago that he remembers the times when I had to go to bed early at night. I didn't get to spend time with them like I am now. And it has totally given me my life back that I had before 2003, before my health broke. I can honestly say I go from early morning, I can go to midnight. And I never thought, that it would happen as severe as I was with the fibro, well, all three of them combined. So I never had surgery, which I was supposed to have had, and it's all because of Augustine's use was shared with me. And I'm thankful for it every day. And I'm not saying that it will do the same for you, but I hope that you will be open-minded enough to give it a chance.